Uh-oh. Are we live?
We should be. And we're live.
I feel like we start every episode with me asking you if we're live. I wish we had a something. Oops.
We need a starting soon screen. I can help you make one of those if you'd like.
Um, anyway, this is Painting Platinum number 30. I'm Sadie, and this is Justin. This is our kind of, I'm 30. You're 30, right?
No, not till September.
Wow. Oh,
But I'm about.
yeah, you're about there. So yeah, this is our big 30. Dirty 30. I'm gonna be drinking
Also,
lots of that water like Ron.
Sorry for being a little bit late, guys. Sadie and I were catching up on a bunch of stuff.
We got to 30 and flirty, that's right, on the road to Tiamat. We had to cover a lot of stuff. Justin and I never see each other anymore. And though he tended to be irritated by it, I used to go unload all the shop talk upstairs. And he's got to know things. He's at the Fort Worth office. He's got to know things. So that's what we did for 15 minutes at you guys' expense. Sorry about that.
Hey, guys.
So I'm going to go to little camera. I'm going to get started. I also have, if I end up feeling like it and feeling like you guys feel like it, I'll do the old people sharing pictures from my trip thing. Because I went on a trip.
I would encourage that because I would like to see them.
Show and tell. I picked very few because I didn't want to, sorry. I change my setup every week and there's stuff in my way. I made this really, hi Nomad Zeke. I made this really high tech keyboard desk out of 2 5-gallon buckets stacked on top of each other, and it's great, but they don't move like they should, so I can't get going like I need to. Okay, here's our guy. His name is Hajad. I can never remember if it's Hajad or Rajad, but anyway, here he is. I'm gonna turn the light on and see how we do. He's looking a little blocky, just kind of blocked out, but I guess that's the point of the layer up. Our little palette buddy is Armadillo this week because I'm just so glad to be back in Texas.
We need to get you a little snippet. You need to put it on the screen there in the same font that Painting Platinum says, Palette Buddy.
Palette buddy.
We have Palette Buddy every week.
I am going to have to go through the house because I live in my grandparents' house and there are so many knickknacks. I'm going to have to find little knickknacks. These came from a little... Justin's barely audible. I didn't check all the stupid things that always change for no good reason. Makes me so mad. OBS, yeah, there we go. So dumb, guys. What the hell? I think it's better because it was turned down.
Testing.
Now you're pretty loud on my headphones. I gotta turn that down so you're not we looked at we looked at this guy, and we were looking at the way kind of highlights hit. I really didn't stick to the spots, but I looked at how dark the shadows were and how light the highlights were as a guide for how dramatic and high contrast I could go and still have it look good. This guy's not looking as good as that. But you know what? I'm new. I can't expect... This is something I talked about with Anne. Your eyes are always going to be better than your skill level in the beginning. And that's why a lot of people get frustrated. I also feel like your eyes get a little better with your skill level. As far as... I always see people post minis with little mold lines, and used to mold lines didn't bother me. I'd be like, I don't know why people care about mold lines. Jeez. Okay.
Now you understand why they do.
But yeah, now I see them more. Yeah, spoons. Okay, so I have leveled up a lot in most of the things I do by wearing readers. So I obviously like even oh, it's so embarrassing. I've been good morning, Valander the Red. Um I have been watching stuff on my phone. I've been watching Degrassi The Next Generation, and I was watching it and doing my nails, and I caught a glimpse of it with my readers on because I was doing my nails, and it looked so crisp, like the Next Generation phone or something. And I was like, oh God, that means I'm old.
Speaking of next generation phones, real quick, not to derail you for
No,
just a
go
second.
ahead. I'm
Have you
derailed.
seen the new like Motorola like smartphone Razr hybrid thing?
No.
You have got to go check that out because I'm gonna be honest. I kind of want to try one, but I think it runs the not Raspberry Pi, but I think it runs the Android current Android system, I believe.
Is it a flip phone?
It's a flip phone, yeah.
They have been okay. We have AT&T, and they have been telling my grandpa for years he can't have a razor anymore, and he always manages to get one. I have no idea how he does it. They've been telling him, they're like, it's not supported, and he always has a razor. He loves his razor.
I loved it back. I never really owned one, but I liked the way they look.
I remember, I think I was in high school, and my boyfriend was just a little bit older, and he had a razor. And it was like cool. It was like new. Um, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, I need readers. They help a lot. And then I don't have my contacts, so we're going to go through the thing where I'm going to put my readers on, but I'm going to have a hard time reading the chat and seeing the screen. So we're going to be a little choppy. I just have to get myself um, down to doing that. So the last thing we did, I think, was the second highlight on the sash. Because I think we need to, or the second shadow on the sash. Howdy, Dave Dwyer, Jedi Jared. Let's see, Skelsey.
Used this earlier, but well, we've got some people in here that are still filtering in. Tonight for Reaper Live, Cindy, you're probably interested in this too. Ed sent me some more teaser photos of the airbrush. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, but I would say if you want a little bit more on the airbrush, I would show up tonight for Reaper Live.
The airbrush with cup sizes C and double D.
Yeah, yeah.
Skelsey, I got your little note and I loved it. You're very sweet. Um, I always want to tell people about my show when they post in the Facebook group that they're feeling discouraged. Because not only do I feel like I've gotten a little better, not like a whole lot better, because my focus is kind of, but I could definitely do with some more painting. But I think my skill level will make people feel better, and because I'm not putting filters on these or photoshopping these. I don't know if that's a problem with this, but in hair, that's what people do. People will bring you a picture and they'll be like, I want my hair this white. And you're like, that's a filter. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do the vest shadow. Oh, but first, let me get derailed. We are still giving away this retro green steel and blue steel. I'm gonna I didn't finish my nails, sorry guys. But the good news is if you have on bingo me talking about my hair or nails, there it is. Howdy. I think I already said this, but toward the end I might show pictures from my trip. So I just got back from Nebraska. And what?
So I really think you should show pictures because I want to see them.
I'm gonna do it. I went back. I don't know who all was here for it, but I went back to the biggest tree in Nebraska. Hi, Strange. Is 1979 your birthday, or are you a Smashing Pumpkins fan? Or both?
That's the answer.
Huh?
Yes. Yes, is his answer.
But I went to the biggest tree in Nebraska. I talked about this last week, and I got some history on it. So I'll talk about that later. But yeah, Okay, so like I've stayed in a hotel with a friend or a boyfriend before, but I've never stayed in a hotel room by myself. So this was the first time that I did that. I got a hotel room all by myself. I won't name names, but I stayed in this really old hotel that's like not updated. Uh um oh, I love that. Strange. I love Hi, Mike Disney. Thanks for the sub. So for every 5 subs, gift subs, resubs, Twitch Prime subs, all of it, we're giving away one of each of these and a Poke Tool. You probably can't see, but this Poke Tool, I'll tell you guys later. I have something I might share. I might share here. I might share at Reaper Live. I think I'll share it here because y'all are my people. But this is the Poke Tool, blue steel, green steel. Ed has given me permission to make this an ongoing thing. So I think I'm going to take it to either Facebook or Discord or both. Thanks, Spoons. I'm the keeper of the paint. And oh, you're awesome. So I can decide what I want to give away, as long as Ed and Dave tell me it's cool. But anyway, so we're going to do retro paints, discontinued paints. Somebody gave me the idea of pro paints and pro paints accessories. So I don't know if we'll stick to just pro paints or if we'll do old MSP or HD. I know everybody was having all the sads when we got rid of HD. So if anybody needs something, I've got it. I'm the plug, as it were.
Oh boy.
That's right. I feel like that could be a segment, like relatively new words. And also, also I was thinking what could be another segment is my poor word finding ability. It could be like the New York Times crossword puzzle, and like, hi Scott Beal, in like the next episode I could reveal the word that I was trying to think of, and maybe you win a prize if you can think of it, because I swear to God, every episode I'm trying to find a word and I can't find it.
The polishing the cat situation.
No, last time it was when you were talking about how you had 2 separate women very far apart that had wet the bed without drinking. And I was like,
Right.
The things that attract us to people are our, it's our pathology. That's what it is. Our pathology is what attracts us to people generally. So when you meet somebody, I think that's what love at first sight is. When I meet somebody that's like, especially the way the guys I like are, they glow to me. It's ridiculous. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's also a little problematic. So anyway, pathology.
You and I have talked about that before.
Oh yeah. I like a fixer-upper, but not a huge fixer-upper.
God, we've had some funny conversations regarding that. Not ones we could talk about on stream even.
Some of them.
Some of them, yeah.
But anyway, we'll get to the shadow layer on this vest. 2 parts bleach linen, 1 part ebony flesh, 2 parts water. Yeah, vocabularium and vocabularium says Val under the red. Yeah, Spoons, y'all usually do figure out what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna have my coffee. All right, we're about 15 minutes in. That's about my cue. So, bleached linen. Oh, we're almost to the next section. I told myself, I'm like, I bet I'll finish. Oh God, that was a weird drop. I bet I'll finish today. Look how much we have to go though. It's scrolling like Star Wars.
So I know you have pictures of your trip. How was your trip?
It was good. Oh yeah, so I stayed in that hotel by myself. It was musty. And I am not a picky person. I do not care, but it was musty. And it's I stayed in the the Rose Room and antiques and stuff. And then okay, so I listened to a lot of yeah, that was the paint guide. We're gonna have to edit that out in post.
Like what?
Secret. The paint guide. We're gonna edit that out in post. I'm not supposed to.
All right.
Strictly speaking, I'm not supposed to be flashing that here and hither and thither, here and there.
Hit and get the
Ebony flesh. They're hiding. Yeah, a touch of musty justy, but the people were really nice. Like I called on the way up, and there was also like it was my grandma's funeral, and there was also a big reunion in the area. Hi, Fraley. Um, so they were almost booked, so I stayed in the Rose Room. Um, Anybody around here knows that when I have a bunch of stuff that I take places, I take it in a laundry basket because I'm a child. So I stayed in an upstairs room and had to like, hi Max Styles, thank you. Had to haul all my stuff upstairs in a laundry basket. That's okay, Fraley. And it was a whipping. But anyway, when I checked in, okay, so I've never been mask shamed down here. I almost sort of think that it's more toward men. Like people don't mask shame women as much as they mask shame men. But oh my gosh, up there, I had several people tell me, because it's in Nebraska. Not only is it Nebraska, it's in southern, very rural Nebraska. And they have like one case in the whole county. So I had several people tell me that COVID is a hoax, and they were like irritated with people wearing masks, which to me, I'm like, well, I'm coming from a hot zone. Like Texas is about it. Well, hi, Alpha. So I mean, I didn't care, whatever, but like, you'd think they'd,
see how it would be easy though to kind of think that, especially if you're from a county that has one case. It's
yeah,
really easy to go, oh, this doesn't exist, right? I mean, but when you see
yeah.
hot zones, that's often what changes people's perspectives, I think. Because seeing is believing, right? That's been true over the course of history with literally anything, right?
Um, it's been really hard for me to be open to being friends with people that aren't taking this seriously because I have fought so hard to prevent my people from getting this, and because my grandpa was in the hospital recently and had to go in alone. And while I was okay with it, uh, thanks for the sub, Harplager. Um, yeah, exactly on the road to Tiamat. I've worked so hard. My grandpa had to be in there alone. And like my uncle, that kind of doesn't so much believe in it, was like saying, this is communism. They want to put a DNR on him. I'm like, dude, they don't want to put a DNR on him. God, like, chill. Leave him alone. But anyway, I've been working so hard, and I feel like it's such a slap in the face because I'm trying so hard to prevent my people from getting it. And to tell me, like, I've seen multiple people be like, oh, well, do you even know anybody that has it? Like, actually, my boyfriend had it, and my other grandma that's still with us in a nursing home had it. Um, so, whatever. It wasn't like a huge deal to me, but everybody I've told has been really pissed off that people acted like that toward me. So anyway, that was kind of bizarre. But the people when I checked in, the like little old people hotel owners, they were really kind of like concerned about Texas. Now, when people talk about Texas, I know they probably realize it's big, but they were talking about the Houston hospital that was at capacity in the ICU. We're not even Dallas, we're Denton. So and even if we weren't Denton, we'd be Fort Worth. We're not Dallas here. But I know you know what's up, Justin. Um
Also, real quick side note, I think that to kind of play devil's advocate here, and that's all that it is. I can see the entertainment or even interest in pontificating about the potential of something being a conspiracy, right, or whether or not
yeah.
it
I love a good conspiracy.
Correct. However, I think where I draw the line is you shouldn't make decisions based off that. So, like,
No.
don't not wear a mask because you think it's a hoax, not hoax, a hoax. But like, wear a mask, but then still have the conversations. Like, what if this, and this, right? It could be interesting. It could create even fun conversations, right? But
Yeah.
like, just understand that it should probably stop there. It doesn't hurt to just wear a mask now, right?
Yeah.
Because
Well, except that you can't find them anywhere.
well, sure.
I sort of feel bad for people about that. But anyway, yeah, it is annoying. I had somebody take a picture of me. Yeah, I'm with you there. We should probably back out of it just a little bit.
Oh,
But,
I agree. That's yeah.
but, but the point is, these people were really nice, and they knew I was from Texas, and they had the cutest little dog. It was a little Shih Tzu, and they were taking it seriously at the hotel. So like, sorry, I'm very distracted. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So they were very nice at the hotel, and they only allowed one person in the lobby at a time, and they had to be wearing masks. So I really appreciated that. In a county where only one person has it, these people were really doing their part. That being said, they were watching the news all day. But they were honeys, and I loved them, even if that room was musty. Which, again, my grandma's a collector. I live in her house. There's quite a bit of fabric. I am not sensitive to musty, and whoo boy, was that musty.
By the way, you tell me if I smelled musty, right? Like you're enough of a. Okay,
I don't
good.
think
Just
you.
check.
I don't think you stink. I know your office is so small. I have to squeeze by you all the time. I think I'd know if you stink.
No, specifically musty. I don't care about stink. I just want to make sure I'm not musty.
Uh, no, you're not musty.
All right, good.
I had my cousin when he went to college would Febreze his clothes. Justin smells like mothballs.
Speaking of
Are we
Febreze
doing the
clothes,
starting rumors?
nope,
What were you saying?
nope, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No. But speaking of not mothballs, but speaking of Febreze, like you were saying, did you see that? I saw this new product from Febreze where the advertisement was just because you wore a shirt like once doesn't mean it's dirty, kind of thing, and it's literally meant to refresh clothes that you didn't wear that much.
Good
I've
for the
never,
environment.
sure, I had just never seen a product like that before.
Do y'all wash your jeans? So, like, I don't wear jeans, but when I did, I washed them every time. But have you ever been told not to wash your jeans?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I wear jeans, which is usually only in the winter time, I don't wear them in the summer. That's a little different. But in the winter time, when I wear jeans, I mean, I wear them for probably a week before I wash them. Now, that depends on how gross they get. If I'm doing like manual labor, I might wash them.
Squats.
Squats, yeah, sure. If I'm squatting in my jeans, I'll wash them. But if I'm just like standard wear to work and home and nothing weird, because I take them off as soon as I get home. But like,
Yeah, we know you don't wear pants, bro. Can we go like one show without you talking about not wearing pants?
I mean, no, not at all. It's a constant thing. In fact,
It's
we
a
need a
movement.
Justin pants emoji. It's a movement, right? I don't wear pants, and I need the world to know. But I do wear a mask, so everyone, I'm sitting here wearing a mask and no pants.
I'll tell you what I don't wear anymore. I never understood it when I was younger, but when I get in the car, my bra comes off. I am over the brassiere. I am over it.
Why?
Over it.
I'm a I'm a good fan of a brassiere.
You don't wear them. I'll get
I,
you one.
I understand that. No, I'm saying from a from a from the other side of things.
I'll get you a man's ear.
Not wearing a man.
Hiring's raccoon. Literally, Justin and I were debating whether or not every show I have, somebody says they don't get a notification. And Justin, because Justin is a Virgo and this is the way he is, he was like, well, it's not everyone. And I was like, 99.6.
Well, right. It's not every show.
Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty damn close. So,
And
anyway.
I agree to the majority. I'll give you that all day, every day, because it is the majority. I just don't think it's every show.
Um,
How you doing?
Huh? Okay, so
Oh,
I'm doing quickly 1 part dark highlights to 2 parts ebony flesh to 2 parts water. I'm trying to get a little more serious because I think that is the mainstream complaint about is me actually working. That's what I always got on my report card.
people, for the
Did not
people who
use
are
time
in chat
wisely.
right now, genuinely, for the people in chat now, would you guys change anything about this show? Would you have Sadie get any more serious? Like, let's be honest.
My boyfriend thinks you guys just say things because you're nice.
That's probably a but
Yeah, bras are a scam. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've gotten
these
big.
spoons.
Or
It's the reason I watch this show. See, that is why I try to keep all of my shows that I run on this channel as flavorfully different as possible.
I
I
like
don't want you
that.
guys to feel like the same thing every time. I genuinely want each one of them to have its own unique identity. If I sanitize that from Sadie, I think I'd be doing her a disservice.
Thanks, guys. Um, I would have it. If you're asking all of us, I would have it be a lot longer. But I am gonna. I keep telling you guys I'm gonna do it. But I am gonna stream on my own. Okay, so Rings Raccoon, something that uh something that I have always told Justin is I think an important part of it is our uh discourse. Is discourse the word that means like dissidence, or is discourse conversation?
I think discourse can be dissidence, but dissidence can't necessarily be discourse.
Banter. Yeah, exactly. No, okay, so this is actually a wet palette, but I think it's old and it's got these like pre-ripped um, baking sheets. But yeah, so one thing I was gonna say is this looks purple. This color, this shadow looks purple, and it is not. So one thing Justin and I will have to do is work on once we open back up and Justin's working back at the Denton office, I think I'm going to speak for Justin and I'm going to say we're going to come back. Yes, I would love Justin to have his own show, but I always thought of this show as half Justin, half myself. So that's why I got butthurt whenever Justin was busy. Like, literally, I got so butthurt. Because I was like,
And that's you know what? After that conversation, I relented.
I
I
know.
said that if there's a show I'm gonna have an increased presence on, it will be this one because it's relaxed.
You're GD right.
It's
And also
we
because
can just
I'll get you going on something.
and that, exactly, and that's what I mean is like this is more of a show embodiment of the conversations. In fact, I would argue that this show is the public eye for the conversations we have upstairs. There's no different. We
Yeah.
basically talk about the same stuff upstairs when you're talking about whatever. This is the same kind of stuff that goes on.
We can get a little more controversial about what's going on in the news and stuff.
Oh,
But
we can, yeah. We
but
we we
even
kind
with
of
a
talk.
disclaimer, um yeah. Um we were just talking. Oh, we love you guys. Let's stop bragging on ourselves. Stop bragging, Justin. Um I love the bosses. I love all of the bosses. Every single one of them. Um Even all of them. I won't single anybody out. One of our bosses is kind of eccentric and into the conspiracy stuff, and I am here for it. I don't have to like agree with somebody all the time.
Oh, I guess I have. When you say bosses, you're referring to
Yeah,
like
the
who you're
structure.
talking. Yeah, I got you.
The
Well, I mean, because that person you're referring to is not my boss.
He's not your boss. All right,
Yeah,
he's not your boss. He was once
yeah,
though.
not. Yeah, he has zero impact on what I do. However, so I think it, it, it is owner really more the in this circumstance or
Hmm.
the brass. I used to refer to them as the brass, right? Kind of like
Yeah.
the military saying for like the generals and stuff. So
When we went down to the super skeletal crew, I was telling my family about it and I was like, it's just owners. And they're like, what are you doing there? And I'm like, oh, I'm a pretend owner. Uh, I just, I would want to be an owner just for the prestige, so I just pretend I'm an owner. Y'all could not get rid of me with a stick of dynamite. Now that I've painted this wall and I got all my stuff in here, if I leave this place, I will be carried out of here. Um, but anyway, no, I love talking to all the bosses, and especially especially Dave, because like Dave knows everything. By the way, like I've had these talks with Dave's son Connor. He's in the military, and I love Connor.
How's
Uh,
he doing? Do you know?
I think he's doing well. Um, he's
Since Reaper
Connoring.
Con last year.
He's Connor. He does his own thing. Like Dave was kind of like in the military. He was kind of like do something practical, and he got into artillery. But he's just forever young, and I love Connor. Like
I love that the answer for Connor's well-being is always, well, he's Connor, and it's been that since he was 16, and now he's what, 24
Connor's
or how old he is.
precious.
I love that that's the same descriptor both ways, right? He's just Connor.
But I told him one time, I'm like, you just don't know how good you have it. You could ask Ed and Dave and Vicky about anything. Like you have resources, and I'm not talking financial. You have resources at your disposal. For me, that's important. But I filibuster Ed. Like, okay, so like Ed is known as a big filibuster. I get Ed off on tangents. He'll come by. I waste so much of Ed's time. And I don't even mean to. It's just part of what happens. But I love talking to Ed. And Dave. Dave's usually so busy because he also does taxes. So I try not to waste too much of Dave's time. Not that Ed's not busy. And Ron is so nice. So like I've talked about how I drew my logo before. Also, this guy's getting a pencil thin mustache by the end of this, because I just almost accidentally did it, and I liked it, the look of it. He's getting some fun facial hair. One thing that I really like about Ron is that he's so nice, like a dad. And I know that's probably offensive, but I did this piece of art that was like bad. It was bad. I've gotten so much better at digital art by now. Like disclaimer, I don't usually work with color. I work with pencil. But anyway, I took it to Ron and he was like, "That's really nice, Sadie. Maybe think about contrast." Like he was so cool about it. Like when a kid brings you something, you put it on the fridge. Like, oh, wow.
Isn't that pretty?
That is so nice. But he's always, and like when I gave him my pirate colors, I wish I still had the list of them. It was like coral, kelp, Aegean Sea. It was like very tropical almost, and not really piratey. So, but Ron's so nice. I sent Ron some of my artwork when I was in 7th grade. And he gave me some like feedback on it. Like emailed him a long time ago. And I quit practicing. If I would have listened, where would I be? Okay. Back to painting. 2 parts heather blue, 1 part ebony flesh, 2 parts water. That's for the pants. 2 parts heather blue. I can't wait to see once the highlights on it and see it all like blocked out, and then I'm assuming we're gonna glaze it. 420 glaze it. Howdy, Al Bevizin. I like that hashtag Sadie for owner 2020. You know what I was thinking? Okay, talked a lot about cows on this trip I went on. I want a mini cow. Basically, it's like the long and short of this. I want a mini cow, and I was like, maybe Ed would let me have like a little place for like a mini cow. I think they're called Herefords. You can get them pretty cheap, like $750 or like $1,000, as long as they're not registered, and they are cute. I want a mini cow.
They're actually like mini cows.
Yes, look them up.
I the obvious question here that everyone's thinking. Do they make good steaks?
Anyway, 2 parts heather blue, 1 part ebony flesh, 2 parts water. No, Spoons. No.
Thanks, Spoons.
Not my little honey. Um, that's not even the Sadie loading screen. That's Daggers. Don't talk about my future mini Hereford. I'm gonna name him Hereford. But anyway, I was like, I want to be an owner, and I'd tell Ed and Dave, like, I don't want any perks except let me keep a cow there. And my cousin was like, don't tell them that. Please
See what
don't.
Trauma Hawk said?
Huh?
Trauma Hawk said that was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake. They're little sweeties. So I'll have to tell you guys this cow story. But I want a little mini Hereford. If you can. I can't do it. Sadie Mini Cow 2020. Ugh. Yeah. I like this. I got all sorts of hashtags for today. 2 parts heather blue, 1 part ebony flesh, 2 parts water. I'm going to get it, guys. I'm going to get it. So we were up there. We went to the funeral, and my cousin lives at 513 whatever street. Like the number of his house is 513. Well, we drove by mini cow baby Sadie. We drove by these cows, and they had numbers like painted on them. Like, I don't know, they might have been branded as well, but I swear they were like tagged. Like tagged, not like tagged. But they were so cute, and my cousin was like, I've got to get a picture of the cow that says 513 for my, like, I don't know, doorway. You know what I mean? He's got to have a picture of 513 cow for his 513 house. So after the funeral, because you couldn't go before the funeral, after the funeral, we went by and all the cows were by the creek. So my crazy uncle, who's like probably more like me than anybody in my whole family, got into this is probably illegal, got into their little enclosure and like went down to the creek, and they followed him back, and it was the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen. It was like, I know they probably thought he was going to feed them, but it was like the most Texas thing I've ever seen, and also the cutest thing I've ever seen. They like all followed him back, and it looked like he was like preaching to them. Like they were listening to what he was saying. They were all looking at him. There were some baby cows in there. So we got the 513 cow picture. They were so cute. And it's such a small town, like people drove by that knew us, and they were like, what's Eddie doing out there? And I don't know why, but he like took a knee out there with them. Like for a minute he was like taking a knee like it was like a football game or a baseball game, and there was a huddle. It was really cute. But these were full sizers. But I'd like a mini. So yeah, maybe when we have a real ReaperCon, y'all can go tell Ed I need a mini cow. But yeah, I would like a mini cow. Which kind of brings me to the second really sweet thing I really wanted to share. Praying to the hamburger gods. So when I was a kid, my great grandpa, my grandma's dad, had a bull. What was his name? Henry. Big bull named Henry. And calves and whatever. So he named a calf after me. So there was a Mercedes cow, which was so sweet. And I got to see a cow like drink out of a bottle. It's adorable. But like real rough. Like cows are strong and big when they're little. You know what I mean? Big when they're babies. But anyway, I was talking about this, and I knew that my grandma had delivered a calf, and I asked about it, and I was like, oh, is that one of Grandpa Ross's? And my uncle was like, no, actually, Henry had girl babies, so my great grandpa gave all of the kids a heifer, as they said. I don't like the word heifer, but I think I think it's still appropriate. Gave all the kids a heifer, and my grandparents got one, and one of the cows had a baby, and my grandma went out and delivered it. So she's like, this is back, I don't know how many of y'all are local, but South Lake, Texas used to be pure pasture. It used to be country. They lived in South Lake. So she went out into the pasture and delivered this calf, and she took her shirt off and caught the baby cow with it at like in her bra, which is like the cutest and most Texas laid back thing I've ever heard. I'm like, I had never heard like the whole deal with that. Because apparently cows sometimes have trouble with their first babies. They need a helper. But just like such kindness. And that cow's name was Little Henry. And he's in a piece of art. Somebody painted him. Anyway. It's cute little things that make me very happy. But yeah, like a little mini Hereford. Maybe I'd name it Henry. Maybe it'd be Little Henry. One part bleached linen, one part ebony flesh. We're going back into the vest. Old Justin?
I'm sorry I missed that. What's up?
You taking a nap? Taking a little
No,
nap?
I was. Kaylee was asking me a question.
1-1. Rings Raccoon has a mini horse, and I work with 11 others. What are they for? Just to look at? To me, they're just to look at and be precious. But do they do tricks? And what's the difference between a mini horse and a pony? I'm new. Like, y'all have to be patient with me. I'm new in my cowboy career. All these are retired. I'm a little concerned about I'm a little concerned about the sad things that happen with animals, like I don't know, like if they get lost or if they get sick or whatever. I don't know. I'm such a weenie. I don't know how well I could deal with like the rancher life. I'm sure I could, but how long do cows live?
I have no idea. I know that when I was younger, my my dad decided he was going to raise a cow, which he did, for us to have, beef in like a year because we only had him for a year. And
This
so
isn't the real sad things show, but go ahead.
that was it. It was a it wasn't. I don't feel like it was. Maybe it was a calf when we got it, but I don't know when the average lifespan, obviously, of a cow is probably skewed based on the nature of
When
raising, right?
yeah.
But I don't know how long cows are supposed to live organically.
I wonder how long they live in like India. In protected cow areas of India. Isn't that where
There you
cows
go.
are sacred?
Correct.
I'm in a very Oh no, I see white. I hate that. I'm just gonna pretend that's supposed to be all shadowed. Um, I'm in a very cow centric place in my life right now. I think it means something spiritually. But I haven't had the time to like look into it and be like, what's going on with cows right now? Oh, Rings Raccoon. Rings Raccoon. Do you like John Mulaney? John Mulaney wrote a lot for this. We've talked about him before, but this SNL character, Stefan, and he uses that word for little people. And I don't know if we're supposed to say that anymore. I think we're not. Or is that a... Never mind. It's a dumb question. I'll Google later. I don't know a lot of the I'm about to do something gross. I don't know a lot of the what's it called? Like the lingo for animals. Like got a heifer and a bull. I know that, I guess. And I think there's a sow and what other words are there? There's like different words, and then there's like different. Oh my gosh! And there's like different words for the different types of meat.
As far as cows go, I don't know all of them, but I know that animals typically have special like in the world of dog breeding, to refer to a female dog obviously is pretty standard. However, its meaning outside of that is very different.
I wasn't preaching Rings Raccoon, but John Mulaney makes some really funny jokes about it, and then I remembered I can't. I mean, not that you should paraphrase jokes anyway. There are a lot of good jokes that do.
Yeah, delivery is important, right?
Yeah. So watch John Mulaney. Oh no. Don't do Facebook. Okay, so let's see. Do you know where I can find a picture of someone already has painted the mountain troll by Reaper Mini? It is the three-toed mountain troll holding a battle axe. We used to have a gallery. Is that gallery still going? Now on Facebook, hi Wapalicious, Wapelius. Sorry, I'm a speed reader. Is this the Wapple artist that I hear so much about?
Yes, it is.
Well, hello.
And James Waffle, yeah.
Yeah.
The Fort Waffle.
Thanks for the sub, Chip Douglas. What? Trashorama says I think cows live about 120 years in the wild. That's why they're isolated. That was the most country thing I've ever said. Isolated to the free cow ranges in North Dakota. Oh, my heart. I would say get on the Facebook page and avoid the drama. Sometimes there is drama, but I think it usually gets deleted, and it's usually over whether or not you prime your bones. Holy God Almighty, Holy Lord, with the priming bones.
A lot more than I feel like it should. So I feel like that creates drama and comes up a lot more than I feel like it should.
I love it. As long as people are nice to each other. Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's always the case.
Okay, we're at 4:03. We have a hard out today at 4:20. 4:30. I'm just saying 4:20 because I know me. The question that shall not be asked. Exactly, Margaret. I'm not trying to be controversial, but I don't. I just do that undiluted base coat. Maybe I will in the future though. I'm new at this, so like right now I'm wet palette and no prime, but maybe in the future I'll be well palette and prime. I can't do well palette because it dries and it drives me crazy. Like what do y'all do? What do y'all do about that? I know you control the water better that way and it's good for metallics, but dang, dries too fast. I recommend, and this may or may not be for everyone, Rings Raccoons likes to say, yeah, we all, and talked about this, we really all do things differently, and I never realized just how much that is true. Okay, guys, I've just realized a mistake I made. I've shadowed these pants and vests in a very tight fashion. Like I just shadowed the wrinkles, and I probably should have either made my second layer of shadows, or I probably should have made my second layer of shadows really fine and thin, or made those bigger. So we're going to kind of see how this goes. Maybe when I highlight it, it'll go completely different. Hi, Reaper Collins. Yeah. I trust you guys so much to talk about the controversial stuff. I know Justin starts to get nervous. But like, to me, you guys can do no wrong. I would love to see a time lapse of all the Reaper painters painting the same guys side by side to show how they paint differently, with me for reference too. You get away with a whole lot of weird stains, says Albev in. Even just the same figures on their show. Anyone knows when this stream ends? Gotta get back to work. That's a great question. Today it will actually end by 4:30. How many subs do we have, Justin? Again, we're giving away the green steel and blue steel. And
Actually, Chip Douglas's thing 4 minutes ago, his sub, that is 5, so that unlocks the first.
yay! So we're gonna give it away. I would expect to make, yeah, it's open, #free, Central Standard Time, correct. So
Now it's open. So upon hearing me say this,
okay.
it is actually live. So
Do it again, guys. #free again. But yeah, these are the, what's it called? The giveaways for today. I'm gonna share with you guys. Oh, shoot, it's right under my palette and stuff. Silly. I'm gonna share with you guys today a color that I made that I'm not going to use for the pirate colors. I think I'm going to share the pirate colors tonight. 2 of them. Not all of them, 2 of them. But you like that ASMR? Justin likes ASMR.
not so much.
He really doesn't. I made this color and it's pretty, but it's like Collins was like, how different is this on Reaper Live? I'll do it on Reaper Live. I'm about to show you this one though right here because it's not anything. Maybe it'll be one of my special giveaways. But Collins asked me, he's like, how different is this from Sophie Champagne? And I realized I'm in a champagne period. Maybe I've always been in a champagne period. Maybe it's lasted my whole life. I hear people talking. I'm trying to eavesdrop. Oh my gosh. Obligatory, we've been so busy. But oh my gosh, we've been so busy. Like, we've been busier than busy. We've been so busy. Spoon said, I don't know if I'd want a champagne period color. I feel like I'd do like a whole, I feel like if I did a whole, line, it would be very similar. But this is my not a color that I fell in love with. I was like, I love that color.
Oh, I actually really like that.
Well, guess what? You can't have it. So it's not real.
It's not real.
I did keep the formula for it, though. I've been doing this really organized way of formulating. Yeah, exactly. So spoons, what I am not as gifted at is what is useful and what is not. Too much coffee painting. So, yeah, you're probably right. I waste a lot of paint. Here's the deal with metallics. A lot of people's taste, as I understand it, toward metallics is that you don't get to choose the light source with metallics, because it's like, oh, when you're over here, you get your highlight and your low light. So I think a lot of artists really don't like a really bright metallic. I think Anne being one of them. I think Anne prefers non-metallic metal. So we have 2 different types of flake. Our new flake, which is in the bones line, is very sparkly, and our old flake is a little bit more subdued. I like more sparkly, but I often fall into this trap of just looking at colors as colors, because I was looking at our colors and I was like, you know what we need is like a canary yellow metallic. But what would you ever use that for? Some kind of gaudy night?
So Sadie, what's your preferred temperature for your house?
Um, like I always put it on 69 in here, and I would probably put it on 69 in my house. Subdued metallics like that. Uh, use it for silks and satin cloths. Most of mine are kind of silky and but yeah, I actually have this thing going, so like it reminds me of the Tiger King meme when it's talking about when you leave the AC on all day, and it's Joe Exotic being like, I'm never gonna financially recover from this, and it's a dad. Um, but my grandpa's like that, and my grandpa's gotten to the point, maybe because he's on new blood thinners, he will set it at 85. So my mom came over yesterday, and I was leaving, and he's like, "Oh, Mercedes, will you put the AC up to 85?" And I looked at my mom and I was like, "You are a lucky woman." Um, but I got a window unit because I was like freezing my grandpa out with the central, so they got me a window unit, which
Yeah,
I know a lot of people think window units are tacky, but man, do I
they,
love a window unit.
they don't circulate our air, obviously. So you're getting a lot of like they'll filter it. They don't necessarily circulate it, and you can have a lot of stale air. But they will. There's nothing cools better than a window unit.
You know what
You can
else I like?
run a refrigerator in the middle of summer.
I like a floor vent. I don't know what kind of house you can have a floor vent in other than a trailer, but oh, good lord. Pier and beam, maybe? Oh, a floor vent.
My experience with those was always if the family had a dog, the dog would just lay on top of it, and then it wouldn't circulate air into the rest of the house very well
Oh,
because the dog laid on it. But the reason
ooh.
why I asked Sadie about temperature is because I'm pretty
Oh,
sure my AC is having issues, and it's 80 degrees in my house right now.
hopefully y'all don't need to crash, because unless you like it 85, I want to sleep on my sectional, which James is about to be crashing with me for a couple weeks because his new house opens on the 14th, and he moved out a couple days ago. House with a basement. See, I'd love a house with a basement. They say we can't have them here. I've heard different things though. I've heard that you can have them if it's an open basement. Hi, Kuronico. Uh, hi. You can hashtag free it. We're open. We're gonna give away one of the green steel and blue steels. Retro,
To
retro.
clarify, the outside temperature right now, according to this, is 101. So
I have a
yeah,
freon leak, so it
and
is.
we might have one too actually.
My car is not cooling. Um, so I went to this concert at the Nasher Sculpture Garden in Dallas, and I got these like paper fans, and I've never thrown them out. I've always kept them in my car, even though I'm like, I need to throw these out. What do I need these for? What do I need these for? But I went with my boyfriend. It was a really fun night, so I didn't want to throw them away. And I used it today. I was like fan of myself, like an old lady in church. Sharky in the tent. It's not a sea level thing. It is a quality of soil thing. I think it also might be a mold thing. Um, that being said, like big places have them. My college had one. Um, oh man, I just messed up my brush. Being ADD, I rolled. I rolled my brush in
Um,
sticky
to
tack.
answer your questions, Samurai Jack. Pretty much all of the heat in the DFW area is all kind of like Houston heat, where it's all humid heat. We
It is
don't we
not like Houston. I will argue with you
no,
right
no, it's
now.
not as bad as Houston, but we get
Mm,
humid. We don't get dry heat.
yeah,
So like we don't get Tucson heat or Arizona heat where it's 108 outside, but in the shade it's like 78, right? Where it's just nice and warm, right? But no, here it's like my house, for instance, right now is 80 degrees. But I like air circulating. I have the fan on, but it is so thick in here, Sadie, that it's miserable. And I've already stripped as far as I can go physically to reduce temperature.
it is oppressive. It is
Very impressive.
so
I
hot.
would rather go outside at 101 and just be out there where there's fresh air, and I wouldn't have a problem with it.
It's terrible. I'm supposed to get my oil changed tomorrow and maybe get my AC worked on, but like I'm nervous about it because I don't want to like sit there and I don't want them to shuttle me. And nobody will be here tomorrow, so it's not like I can just do the thing we normally do, which is like, hey, drive me back because the place is right down the street. So that's normally the process is, hey you, drive me back. But yeah. Governor issued wear a mask if more than 20 people in county tested positive for Texas.
Yeah, I just saw that actually. They announced that.
I hope that they start like ticketing people because I know people personally, not that I want them to get tickets, but they will not do it. That air is thick.
Also, Sharky asked why we don't have basements, and I think that's just because of the soil down here in Texas. I
Mm-hmm.
don't, you know, anyone with a basement. They're just not common down here.
My uncle, so my whole family's in construction, and my uncle told me that it can be open. I don't remember what that's called, to where you have like a window, but it's a basement. Um, but it's the soil and possibly the foundation issues. It's our soil, but I've also heard it's a mold issue. It's it's a quality. Um, no, I could walk. I think it's how far is that dealership? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, which one?
I don't want to like promote anybody, but
Oh, the one where Ed and Dave typically go.
yeah, like a mile. It might
No,
be a couple
it's
miles.
Sweetie longer than that. It's like 3 or 4 miles.
Okay, never mind.
Let me pull up that distance. I'll tell you in just 1 second.
If you're gonna pull anything up, I don't remember what I wanted you to look up. One of those Hereford cows. Um, I miss you being right in front of me so I can point at you and be like, Google that. And I can like prod you about it. And you can pull stuff up on the screen. Because it's so hard for me to pull stuff on the screen.
Michaela's calling me.
What? It's a balmy 50 here. If anybody wants to send excess sunny weather, it'd be much appreciated. Oh, I wish I could. Yeah, right down the road. Exactly, Spoons. That's exactly what it is. Apparently the water table in Texas is real close to the surface, so if you start randomly digging basements, you might end up with a pond. Yes. That's so cool. I'm into that. We're probably not getting much further. Let's see, what do we have? Okay, so what we'll do is sorry, I was reading. What we'll do is we'll start highlights next time. And then, so like after that, here's my plan. And I'm gonna have to really get with the bosses and Justin and probably Collins. Collins is like I don't think he's technically a part of the streaming because he does other stuff. He's really busy, but he's our ethical and spiritual advisor. So, Kevin, I talked about this last week. Kevin gave me these busts because I was talking about really wanting to do busts and how we don't have that many. And these are from Kickstarter 4. I can't even remember. I can't remember what we're on because everybody always accuses me of announcing the next one. These are for the current Kickstarter, Reaper John, thank you, that you can open the pledge manager and do the stuff for it now. But these are the busts. And I'm thinking about how we're going to change, like what direction we're going to go in. And one thing that I can really add is color in how it applies to hair, skin, clothing, like what looks good. Yeah, I wish I had a Surf 4 scale. I probably have a similar creature. This is Anirion. Here. Somebody get me a banana. Need a banana for scale. So they're not like ginormous. Where's my ruler? Shoot. That's all right. Master Series sample paint bottle for scale. So, one direction I would like to go in is what?
4 miles.
4 miles. Thank you. Is color and what looks good. And I like bust because you can do eyes a lot easier. I don't know. Do you guys do eye color on your minis? Are y'all just like exponentially better than me? Because like I usually try to, and I don't feel like you can do too much. The Wizard is the same size as Surfer Scale. I just compared my copies of both of them. Thank you. All my minis have black eyes. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a shark-eyed mini. So like one thing I thought about is using a celebrity or a public figure as a reference, or doing it in seasons. So we could do like a bright winter. I think bright winter is everybody's favorite, and like I don't know how we would do it. But I would like to oddly enough, I would like to be painting big. I can. But because painting big is Anne's Patreon. Check it out. But I would like to paint big. But that's something I feel like I can add information to. I can explain hair. Oh, I love the Zodiac ones. Most of the Zodiac ones. I like all of them, but some of them I really love. Yes, these are actually busts. However, they are not, what's it called? Oh, and this one of them has a dragon. No, it's the big one that has a dragon. Let me get the dragon. Justin or John, what is it called when they're not, these are like not, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, no. I haven't been able to, am I crazy? How does this go? I guess it gets cut off first. They're 3D prints and not in bones. Thank you, Maladrock. But I'm really excited about that.
Katie, I know it's not actually limiting you, but because of the closed space that you're filming this, because of what you're trying to like piece together, it looks like your nails are completely in the way of what you're trying to articulate.
Yeah, they probably are.
Are they?
They probably are. I wanted to do stiletto nails because I've never made them before. But I'll have to cut them down. I brought my cutter so I can cut them. Bad at skin, eh? I have a lot to, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Too much coffee painting is now Kith. But yeah. Since your shoulder and elbow are attached to the sprue, you have to clean it first. That's what Kevin told me. But in my mind, I was thinking stuff. Oh my God, stuff. Anyway, so that's what I'm thinking we'll paint next. And also something that Ed told me, which is like somewhat true, which I might try and make happen, but I don't want to be bragging about until I do it. But we might be able to have other busts. So let's do the old people thing of travel pictures. Ooh. Thanks, Boonsy. Awesome. So I'm going to show you guys. Oh my goodness. Thanks, Val Under the Red. Oh my goodness. Y'all are killing it. Let's go to big camera. So, I think I told you guys about the thickest tree in Nebraska. So my grandma's sister-in-law was telling me about how, and I've read about this before, cottonwood trees were not native to the Midwest, that we planted them because we needed shade. So all across wherever, Midwest, there are cottonwood trees. And I've heard they're like, so I love cottonwood trees, but I've heard they're not very popular because they kind of suck up all the water. They go deep and they're not really hardy trees. So anyway, went to the biggest tree in Nebraska when I was a teenager. My grandma was like, oh, we got to go see it. It's this thick tree. And we get there and we're all distracted because there's cannabis growing all around it. So it's like a big joke. But I went back and it is a beautiful tree. It's so big. And it turns out that my grandma's sister-in-law, her grandma brought it from Wisconsin and planted it 1877 or something. And at the time, it was the thickest tree. She said it was the thickest in the United States. I don't know if she meant cottonwood or tree. She probably meant cottonwood. I know those redwoods are pretty big. But anyway, yeah, spoons, but it's really not. It's barely pot. It's hemp, really. I didn't get any pictures of it, but it was like a field. But no, I went back because I'm really into trees. No, I couldn't drive through it. But planted in 1877, they did this write-up about it, and they took a picture, and it was 14 people holding hands around the tree. So it's really thick. And then she told me there was a tree in Aurora that they thought was bigger, but that tree was really two trees that had grown together. A poser. So anyway, that's the tree back here. There's probably pot somewhere in there, to be honest. So that's that. Then we went to the geographical center of the 48, and this is like a picture of it. I don't know if I can like make it bigger. It's like this picturesque road. Sorry, this is bad stream, but oh my gosh, it was so pretty. And just as I took this, some people drove up on motorcycles. Beautiful. And it's actually hillier than I remember. When I was a teenager, I was like, oh my God, it's so flat out here. But it's actually really pretty. So then, this is like the highlight of my trip. In Lucas, Kansas, and I talked about this before, there is a concrete sculpture garden. It's called the Garden of Eden. It is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. It was this guy that was ex-military, and speaking of conspiracy theories, I kind of think that he might have been experimented on because I feel like the spirit of some chemicals going on. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. So anyway, he made this Garden of Eden, and I'll post more about it probably next week because, oh my God, it's too much. It's too hot for one show. I've got 1 minute. But this is the Garden of Eden in Lucas, Kansas. I believe I read that it was the first folk art garden structure, whatever, of the United States. But here you see Adam and Eve and a snake and an apple. Apparently there's the devil back there somewhere, but I didn't see him. This guy had a whole write-up. Right now it's closed for COVID, but you can do a self-guided tour, and he wrote about it. So then it's got all these stories going all the way around. Here's my favorite. It's graphic. Warning, it's graphic. This is a depiction of Abel killed by Cain and his dog and his wife. Weird, dude. So anyway, that's all I'll show today. But he had a quote about it that was pretty crazy. But the weirdest thing is that he built a mausoleum, and he put he and his wife in it, and he has a glass coffin, so you can see him. I've never toured it, so I don't know Dude, Spoon says, wonder if all those people he kidnapped and dipped in cement. There were weird cages. There was all sorts of stuff. Gosh. Sorry, I just really want to read you this quote. I'm probably gonna have to wait. I'm gonna wait, but I'll do a little something about it next week. But the place like fires me up. It fires me up. It gets me so going. And I was like telling my family, I was like, I'm gonna move up here and I'm gonna work here. Like I'm gonna work here for free. I'm gonna work here. The energy in that place is bizarre. It's bizarre and it gets me going. It gets me weirder. Weird place. Weird. Love it. But anyway, I do recommend you check it out and I'll talk a little bit more about it next week. We should do our giveaway. We are giving away the retro blue steel. Oh, sorry. Forgot I'm on big camera. Retro blue steel, retro green steel. And maybe one day this nice metal will come back. But this was a Sadie prototype that is nothing. So we'll hide him. But very sparkly.
All right, Sadie, I just drew 2 names.
Awesome. The suspense is killing me.
We have, ready for this? We have Jenny Nites and Onionioni.
Wonderful. Excellent. So what you're going to do is you're going to email giveaways@reapermini.com. In the subject, you're going to include your Twitch handle and just your Twitch handle, just kidding. And then in the body of the email, you're going to include the show in which you won, the date, your name, and your shipping address. So we know where to send it. We appreciate you guys watching and hanging out with us. Let me know in Discord, or I think I'm going to make a Facebook post about it. What are some discontinued, rare, whatever colors that you would like to see given away? Because I've been given permission to give them away. Yeah, so we'll do that. And then I think tonight, like Justin was saying, we're going to do Reaper Live. We're going to talk about, I believe we're going to talk about the airbrush. I think we're going to get an airbrush update. High beef in the hole with all the, what is that, spoons? Asbestos brown. Yeah, exactly. I think we're going to get an update on the airbrush, and I might share a couple things. There are a couple things I'm just dying to share. I wish it could include a spoon. One of those little baby commemorative spoons. Or a grapefruit spoon. It's my favorite.
Miss, would you like to choose who we rate today?
You know it. Don't threaten me with a good time. I'll tell you what. I got on the other day, and the lady, Shapuchi, who was making gerbil thing. I wonder if she's live right now. She or he. Uh-oh. I think, yeah. Should we go Shapochi again? Is that fair?
We can, if that's what you want.
Yeah, let's go Shapochi again. Shapochi is on day 7 of gerbil thing. Please, oh please be the final day, it says. And I can relate. I can relate so hard to that. Do you remember how to get there? Do you remember the name?
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Oh no, Hobbies for Happiness is rating us, even though we're about to go.
Hobbies for Happiness, we love and appreciate you, but we're rating somebody else. Thanks, you guys. We love you, and we'll see you tonight at 6. Almost said 6:30, but you never know.
We started at much closer to 6 this last week. So.
I'm always 30 minutes early.
You're in about an hour and a half, guys. tune back in for Reaper Live.
Come back in, Reaper Live, airbrush update, and possibly other big reveals.
Thanks, guys. Keep being awesome.
We love you.
See you guys later.
Bye. 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 Bye.